Hello, welcome to Pursuit of Perfect System. My name's Terry Ellis. I'm an audio reviewer and Dirac Live calibrator. And in this video, we're doing a song demonstration as part of the review for the Bowers and Wilkins 603 speakers that you can see either side of me looking really lovely in white. Now, a song demonstration, if you're new to the channel, is a live recording of the system that you're looking at, which I'll run through in a minute. We use studio grade recording equipment at ear height at the listening position. The reason this works because we've got a fantastically acoustically treated room with products from GRK Acoustics, and we use Dirac Live within our music server, so we get an exacting frequency response at the listening position. So the recording is about as good a representation of the system's sound quality as about anybody is going to give you. Now, the system that you're looking at, obviously you're going to be listening to the Bowers and Wilkins 603 speakers on their own. The subwoofers, you can see, are not in use. As part of this review, we're also reviewing another product, which is the Lima Acoustics Elements integrated amplifier, and we're using it just as an integrated amplifier at the moment. Its internal DAC is being bypassed because we're using the Chord Electronics Dave DAC still. With the Chord Electronics Dave DAC, we're using the Wave High Fidelity Storm Reference digital cable linking to the Dave from our audio PC. And our audio PC is a custom built music server which has got some very special parts inside from the company JCat, and we're using special optimization software in there such as Audio File Optimizer and Feedalizer. Now, while we're on this subject, I've literally just installed the brand new JPlay into the music server, JPlay Femto, which has brought about some serious sonic improvements, and there'll be a whole video on the improvements and on JPlay Femto coming very soon. The rest of the system, the analog cables that we use in the system at the moment are Tellurium Q Silver Diamond. We've got balance cables linking from the Dave to the Lima Elements, and then we're using Silver Diamond speaker cables to the Bowers and Wilkins 603. The speaker cables are risen up on Furatech NCF Booster products. We've got other Furatech NCF Booster products in the system. At the moment, our mains conditioning is from Isotech. We're using an Isotech Nova, and down here, I'll turn that on, we're using an Isotech Genesis 1, which I'm standing in front of, I apologise. And the Genesis 1 is a product that regenerates clean power, and that is literally just powering the Chord Electronics Dave, and there'll be some video coming on that soon. The majority of our power cables are from XLO in their Signature 3 range, and we've got one Tellurium Q statement power cable that feeds straight from the wall to the Lima Elements integrated amplifier. Something to point out is that we've got the Bowers and Wilkins 603 just sat straight on the floor. In an ideal world, I'd raise the speakers up on some speaker isolation. Product like the ISO Acoustics Gaia 1 speaker isolators would be absolutely perfect for these. But even standing straight on the floor, well, you listen. So that's pretty much covered everything. There's probably a few bits that I've missed, and I apologise if I have. Oh, obviously we've got a feng shui tree there just for good measure. Right then, so the song you're about to listen to is from the Aristocrats. Now, the reason I've chose this song is I want to demonstrate the dynamics of the Bowers and Wilkins 603, the intensity, the way they communicate the musical message. That's what we need to pay attention to in this song. In particular, when it gets to the drum solo section, about 2/3 of the way through, pay attention to the attack and intensity of those drums. Bearing in mind, these speakers cost £1,250, so these are by far the most affordable speakers I've had in this room ever, actually. And I want you to pay attention to what I've nicknamed the Mighty Mouse, the Lima Acoustics Elements integrated amplifier. At 8 ohms, that amplifier's got 56 watts of power. Now, these speakers will take up to 200 watts of power. Listen to the intensity, listen to the drive to the music coming off of 56 watts of power. And then at the end of the video, I'll do a close-up of the bass drivers so you can see how they're moving and how well controlled they are from this amplifier. But enough chat, time for the tunes. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll come back and speak to you about it after. what did you think of that? Bowers and Wilkins 603s, 1250 quid, absolutely rocking that track out with a fantastic amount of depth, fantastic amount of clarity and subtlety to the song. But most importantly, I think for that music, they communicate the message of that track, which is kind of an intense, lively, I don't know what else you'd call it, but intense, lively, upbeat performance from a band that's kind of rocking it out, I suppose, is probably a cheesy way to describe it. And I think they get that across in an absolutely fantastic way with a good amount of refinement, because normally the more you spend on speakers, you get more dynamics and you get bigger soundstage, stuff like that, and you normally get much more refinement. But for 1250 quid, you get quite a lot of refinement there, considering the kind of track, type of track that is, and the intensity of it. It'd be very easy for these to be, for the speakers to trip over, and things to become fuzzy and a mess. Now we've got to pay close attention to just how much quality there is around these speakers. We've got a really high quality source, and as I mentioned before, the new J-Play Femto is absolutely outstanding in terms of what that's done to the digital source. And the cabling we've got in the system, Tellurium Q silver diamond speaker cabling and analog cabling is premium, expensive, ultra high quality speaker cables. And then we've got ultra premium power cables, and we've got obviously the Cord Dave DAC, arguably the most technically advanced DAC on the market and stuff. So there's a lot going on in the system here for these speakers to shine as much as they're shining. And I don't disagree with this advice. People often say spend all your budget on speakers, but I made a video I think a year or so ago where I demonstrated about £1,500 worth of speakers on the end of about £40,000 worth of system, and it sounded amazing. So it's not necessarily the only thing to spend your money on, and it just demonstrates that a speaker is really, it's the end product, it's the bit that makes the sound, but obviously it can only make as good a sound as kind of what you feed it. So I always say pay attention to the foundation of a system, because it really does make a difference, a really big difference. And then kudos to the Lima Acoustics Elements amplifier at kind of 56 watts, 8 ohms, the drive and stuff. And if you can see up in the corner, I've put up there the way the cones, the bass drivers are going. They're going, mate. They're going hard, but they're not wobbling around, not flapping around. They're going with a nice amount of control, which gives us that fantastic dynamic. So I know I spoke a lot about the system in this video, and I probably should be speaking more about the speakers, but the speakers talk for themselves. For the money, for £1,250, they're absolutely fantastic. And I actually forgot to mention that obviously these are on loan to me from Nintronics, the excellent HiFi and AV dealership. So if you're interested in buying a pair of these speakers, I'd say definitely get in contact with them, because the quality of service you'll get from them is as good as anywhere, and they're fantastic guys, and obviously I appreciate the support they give me. So yeah, I don't really need to say too much about that performance from a Sonic's point of view. So I hope you enjoyed that track. That's Bad Asteroid from the Aristocrats. There'll be a link below this video to go and buy that album. You have to buy that album. It's an absolute cracker to test your system. It's got all different types of tracks on there. It's a fantastically well recorded album as well. Really interesting and enjoyable music. So most of you have probably already got it, but if you haven't, link down below. Make sure you go and buy that. Right, so there'll be a couple more song demonstrations as part of the review for the Bowers and Wilkins 603. There'll be shorter videos, less chat, just a little bit of chat, and then we'll get cracking on with the music. So this is a long one because obviously I explain everything. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, go and visit our website if you haven't recently, or if you haven't already. Please consider subscribing to the channel, because there's so much amazing content on its coming. There's never been a better time to subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't, make sure you press the notification bell so that when I create a new video, you get a little message pop up to make you aware that there's new content available. I'll make a lot of videos on this channel, and there's loads of interesting content coming and already in the channel. So yeah, if you want that nudge, make sure you click on that notification bell. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in the next song demonstration video. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you soon.